Hey everyone, here we are back again with another figure review. This time, Mafex Daredevil comic version. Actually Mafex this time, not CT Toys. Although they do have a Daredevil, and they have one that is the black, like the all new, all different suit with the black, all black suit with the red logo, gloves, boots, and belt. That I am very curious about. I might try and track that down, and if I do, I will be sure to make a video of it. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we are talking about this figure right here, which I personally consider to be the single best Daredevil figure ever released, and here in a minute we will get into why. Take a look at the box art on the back here. I've always been a big fan of Mafex box art. It's very simple and to the point, but it has everything you need to know really about the figure on the back. They've got the comic panels and the artwork in the background on most of the packaging, including on the inside there. It's just really neat. I always dig it. You have the classic Marvel floating head thing up there. And then this right here, looking like the top left corner of a classic comic book and all of that. So it's all very fun stuff. But without further ado, let's get into why we're really here. And here we have Mr. Murdock himself, standing straight up and down, no fancy poses or accessories. And yeah, he just looks incredible. He looks like that classic 70s, 80s Daredevil artwork. I'm thinking back to David Mazzucchelli's artwork in specifically Daredevil Born Again, not the show. Though I love that show. Mafex is always really good with the proportions and the muscle, but it still looks like they're wearing a costume. When you have more than one Mafex figure standing next to each other, especially if it's from a comic line or something like that, like the Batman Hush line, which I have a few of those that we will definitely do some videos of in the future. They always look fantastic because they pose so well and they all have this kind of synergy. They just look great. Now we will get into the accessories. So for accessories, our boy Maddie comes with 3 heads. The one with the more relaxed face that you saw on the figure itself, plus this angry face and an angrier face. And then he has 2 billy clubs, a couple extra sets of holsters, one that is totally empty, and one that is just missing a single billy club, just in case you want to have them just holding one, which is really cool that they thought of that. And then they have the wired billy clubs for throwing and swinging on, but this one is just the 2 straight clubs. And then this one is just a single club, but with the hook at the end, kind of popped off for swinging on, I guess. And then we have 2 fist hands, although actually I think one of these is a grippy hand because I had 1 fist hand and 1 grip hand on the figure itself. Some action hands, some like clenched, claw hand type thing. Some flat hands for throwing. Personally, that's what I use them for. Some relaxed hands and some wide open hands. And then, of course, relaxed head, grippy hand, fist hand, and then the holster with both billy clubs in it. So, next we'll get into articulation. Okay, so for articulation, and I know we didn't really go over it in detail with Wolverine, but I had an idea. Let's see if I can maybe make this work this time. So, this being a Mafex, these things can articulate like crazy. So, really, this can rotate all the way around, almost, the hip. But we get this kick that far out, bends all the way in. We have a ball swivel here for the ankle, so it pretty much full motion. Toe articulation, which we love. Same on the other leg, obviously. This thing articulates as well, because it's just on a little, it's just a ball. Pops right into the side there. And it doesn't really get too much in the way unless you want to kick that way, like that. But, again, it articulates, so you just, boom, and there you go. The waist here is it sits on a ball up in here. And as a result, it can swivel and pivot all over the place. You want to crunch. There's your crunch right there. The diaphragm is also on a ball there. So you have all kind of pivot and swivel. And then you have butterfly joints here at the shoulders. So you can come in that much and back out that much. Cut up and down, turning at the shoulder. Fully articulated elbow, another ball hinge here. So full articulation at the wrist. And then the neck here is a ball down in here. So tilt and swivel and all that. Same with the head. Although the head does pop off pretty easily, as with most Mafex figures, in my experience at least. But even still, if you can have them looking straight up like that. And if you don't include the body at all, it's still pretty good. So, yeah. Now, there's still some plastic stuck in there. But yeah, so this thing, you can get it to do pretty much whatever you want it to do. As with most Mafex figures, especially the more recent ones, because they solved a lot of those, we'll say, fragility issues, where moving around, it felt like you were playing with a puzzle. It felt like it would just fall apart a lot of the time. But that is not as much of an issue anymore. Like, this guy feels really solid. I think this is the newest one I own, in terms of when it was produced. So, but yeah. Oh, crap. So, I think that'll be about it. I'm going to get one more shot of him, just in a really cool pose, and then I will take some pictures. We'll have some posed pictures at the end, like usual, and I think we'll call it a day. Whoops. And here he is with the Hook Billy Club out, the empty holster on, and the other regular Billy Club in his hand. And this is, yeah, it's fantastic, as you can see. Oh, also, earlier, like a absolute dummy, I completely forgot to mention the flight stand that comes standard with most Mafex figures. So, one of probably my favorite stands. I think the only ones I like better are the Mezco ones. But either way, here's Daredevil in all his glory. I love this thing. It is, again, like I said, probably the single best Daredevil figure on the market to date. There's not a whole lot that beats it. So, yeah. We will look at some more photos. Sorry, I'm just lost in the sauce over here. We'll look at some more photos, and I think we'll call it from there. Hope you guys had fun. I know I did. Always having a good time when I got this guy. So, yeah. We'll see you guys next time.